For most of the strength world, Olympic weightlifting with its two movements, the clean and jerk and the snatch, is still seen as the pinnacle of strength and power. Throughout the 20th century, numerous weightlifting coaches adopted isometric protocols as assistance drills for their athletes. Possibly the most outspoken and well-respected of these figures was Alistair Murray. From World War II onwards, Murray was considered Europe's finest weightlifting coach, a state of esteem which he held for nearly 30 years. While American coaches focused on power rack isometrics, Murray was a vociferous proponent of chain and bar methods, and even exploited early devices with mechanical dynamometers, sound familiar, in training his Olympic athletes. Murray was a true genius of strength and unquestionably decades ahead of his time. And that is where today's workout program that you can follow along with today comes in. This is a good one, y'all. We can do this up to 7 days per week. This is a max effort drill. So each exercise that we're gonna do here, we perform with 100% effort. The rest time is whatever. Yeah, you heard me right. You wanna rest long enough so that you're feeling 100% for the next lift. Totally different from our usual 20-second rest time for our 6x6. We can also use feedback mode to record average loads and times of each rep. Murray's whole system is based on holding two positions, close to the bottom and close to top, for essentially 6 basic drills, focusing on holds that primarily reflect weightlifting movements: deadlifts, shrugs, high pulls, front squats, and presses. Murray also felt that it was important to keep total hold volume low to avoid fatigue. His recommendation: 48 seconds for the total limit for active weightlifters and a 60-second limit for our isometric only lifters. In addition to that, for only the iso lifters, Murray advised the addition of explosive jumps and chair dips. And with that, let's get into the workout. Starting our program off today, we're going to be doing the deadlift from bottom position. Now, you're going to notice pretty quickly that all of our contractions are only 4 seconds, which is totally different from the 6 seconds that we are used to on this channel. And it's not all about 1x6, 3x6, or 6x6. 6 seconds just seems to be that in the middle number, like essentially your 3 sets of 10 in the weight room, right? So as we transition from bottom position to now mid position for deadlift, okay, we're gonna make sure that we're keeping our core tight and our glutes engaged as we pull up, especially on these total body compound movements, as it's easy if your glutes are not strong or if your abs are not strong to end up pulling your lower back just as if you would in the weight room with poor form on any deadlift. You need to make sure that those weak areas are in place. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and transition to the shrug. Now, this is really simple, as we just want to make sure that our body is completely upright, and we're just going to go into the shrug, just bringing our traps up, bring our shoulders up. And as you can already see, because they're 4 seconds, it's kind of hard for me to keep up with the narration, but I'm telling the audience here that I cannot do the front squats. My wrist mobility is trash, so I'm gonna actually switch it up with the hack squat. So as you can see here, I'm gonna pull up for 4 seconds. I have the bar behind my hamstrings, so I'm still getting all the quadricep action that I would normally get with the front squat without my poor wrist mobility being an issue. And then because we were doing front squat, bottom position, and top position, I'm going to transition this hack squat variant to the top position to simulate the front squat from top position. So once everything's in place, tighten up the core, really drive up through those heels, and you feel this immediately. Another 4-second exercise and we're off to the next one. So we are already halfway done. There's 12 exercises. That was the end of the 6. Now again, I apologize, I did not get the high pull in here. But essentially that is just a pull from mid position, and we're going to be working the upper back complex. And if you want a video on how to perform that exercise correctly, here's a link right here. Go ahead and check that out. And now we're going to transition to our shoulder press from bottom position. One of my favorite exercises on the Iso Chain and Iso Max. 1, 2, 3, and done. 4 seconds is so awesome for this, but it's not that it's any less difficult. It's still tough, and apparently that was a decent number, as you can see with my head nod. So now we're going to adjust the strap and go up into the overhead press from top position. One of the exercises on these bar and chain type devices where I just feel so weak, and I know that I'm not alone in this. That's why I was smiling there. I'm like mentally preparing myself to feel like a whole shrimp. And once we're ready, we're going to have our arms all the way up top and push as hard as possible for 4 seconds. Tighten up the core, as you can see. And as I catch my breath, I look at the number, which was apparently very bad, and I'm just gonna hide that from you so you don't see it. But that doesn't matter, but as long as we perform the exercise correctly and we push harder than last time, as per Greg Doucette, one of my favorite YouTubers in fitness. Right, now we're going to transition to the bent over row, get some more posterior chain action here. So we're going to be working the lats and the biceps. With the overhand position here, the conventional grip, we get a little bit more forearm activation too, which is nice. But make sure you tighten up that core and drive right through the bar. And this exercise has not failed anyone yet. As long as the angle is correct, you feel this sucker. As soon as you finish, you feel it in your lat. I love this exercise. I like the seated row more, but this is a great exercise to perform for posterior chain. Now we're gonna work up the strap. This is now bent over row from top position. Same thing, making sure that the angle's correct. Again, we have an entire how-to series on how to perform these exercises with correct form. So here's a link here to the entire playlist. Go ahead and check that out if you're unfamiliar with any of these exercises. They're well over 40. I believe there's over 50. So definitely check that out. We are going into our last two exercises here, which are bicep curls, one of my favorite exercises to do on the Iso Chain and Iso Max. We're starting with the bottom position, getting set here mentally, physically, and once we're set, as the elbows are by our side, not forward or backward, at our side, we're gonna drive up the bar, tighten up the core, tighten up the glutes, and apparently that number was absolute trash, but it doesn't matter as long as we perform the maximum contraction for 4 seconds. And then we're gonna work up the strap to bicep curl top position. This is the last exercise. I'm starting to feel it. Even though some of the strap transitioning is sped up for the sake of the video, I am starting to feel this workout. It's hilarious because it's only 12 exercises with 4 seconds, but even with this bicep curl top position, like, I can feel this. If you haven't done this program before, definitely do it, and I'm gonna give you guys a bow. Excellent program here. Great job, Dragon Door. These Dragon Door exercise programs are really unique. And if you'd like to learn more or see more of them, I highly recommend you check out this playlist right here. Thanks for watching.